Go the Rams. Bah!
Adelaide to bring it out from their own line. And met by some very willing Auckland defence. And pushed back a couple of metres. Kieran Wallace just goes from dumming. Pick up Darren Doherty. 25 metres out from his own line.
As now the Adelaide Rams make their way out onto Marathon Stadium for the first time.
Welcome to the Ram Page League podcast. My name's Darren, and joining me as usual is Rolly. How you doing, Rolly?
Good, Darren. Good, Darren. Good to be back. And another freezing night in Adelaide, eh?
Definitely. I think we can safely say that winter is definitely approaching.
Winter is coming. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. What a week it's been. Of course, we have to review the Anzac round 8.
It was a good round.
It was.
Some upsets there as well, which was interesting. So I'll start off with round 8 review. Thursday night we had the Warriors versus the Titans. The Warriors, I don't know what's going on with the Warriors lately. They're really up and down with their form.
They did. They started off the season so well, and now they're in a bit of a slump.
Yeah, I picked them to be top 4, even win the premiership, and I'm kind of doubting that now. The way they're playing, it's still pretty early on in the competition. But I did say it last week, watch out for the Titans. They're dangerous, and they won 27-24 in New Zealand. So it's a good win for the Gold Coast Titans. But yeah, I'd be disappointed if I'm a Warriors fan, to be fair.
Oh, definitely. And we're hoping to have holding the ball very shortly, so we'll be able to go talk more about that
game.
Yes.
So we're going to Anzac Day. Did you get up for the dawn service on Anzac Day?
I did, and shotgun breakfast after the dawn service, and then into town for the march. So yes, yep.
Yeah, they got gunfire breakfast. So yeah, I got up early. It was cold where I was. I don't know how cold it was where you.
It was pretty cold down in Marden. Yeah. Yep.
My lovely girlfriend decided to wear a little dress and heels, and she was frozen.
Oh no!
For her first Anzac Day. So yeah, the first game on Anzac Day is the Roosters Dragons, and this was a really one-sided game. I didn't expect it. The Roosters won 60 points to 18. It was a very one-sided game. Sam Walker played really well.
That's it. Yes. No, he did, rather. It was, yes, stand out.
He scored 10 tries and he got all 10 conversions. So 60 points is a big game on Anzac Day. Big crowd was sold out in Sydney for that because you don't really get many sold-out games in Sydney.
No, you don't. No.
AFL get big crowds all the time, but in rugby league you don't really see big crowds except for Origin really in the grand final.
That's it.
Had the sold out game at Allianz, so that was a good game for the Roosters fans. The next game was another blowout. It was the Storm versus the Rabbits in Melbourne, and it was 54 points to 20.
Couldn't believe that. That was just I was expecting a bit more of a competition, but as you said, it was
10 tries again, but yeah, obviously not as good goal kicker. But yeah, the Storm have been really good this year. I expect them to be top 4 for sure, and it's good to see South losing. That's always good for me because I hate South. But yeah, the next game, this is a bit controversial, I think. So as a Manly fan, I was very happy that we won. So Manly won 32 points 18 against the Eels. Eels were up at half time.
They were, yes. Yeah.
I felt like the second half, Manly got all the rub of the green. I think it was like a 7-0 penalty count. And we won obviously easy, but I feel if Parramatta, you feel like you're a bit robbed because they had the ref just gave everything to Manly. I didn't mind getting all the calls, but as a rugby league fan, you don't want the ref to influence the game that much.
No.
It was a sold out game again at Brookvale, which is 3 games in a row for home games for Manly.
Well, that's great for Manly at Brookie. Yes, yep.
So it's not a big stadium. They got 17,000 there.
Yes, yeah.
And like usually Manly, if they're going well, they get good crowds. But if they're going a bit bad, they don't get as good crowds. But it's always good to see Lottoland. It's not Lottoland anymore. It's 4 Points Park sold out.
Yes.
And coming out of that game, Daly Cherry Evans and Ola Kawatu got charged by the match review committee for that spear tackle on Sean.
Oh, that was.
I like a good spear tackle, right? I think obviously you got to remember the safety of the players, but I love a good spear tackle. Get him on his back and drive him to the ground. And Olkawai's got 2 weeks, and I think Cherry Evans is fighting the charge.
That's the last I heard. He was, yes, yep.
I don't think it's a big out if he's not playing because we're only playing the Raiders. Okay.
Yes.
The Raiders don't have Jamal Fogarty. That's a big The Raiders were disappointing all weekend. I expect them to bounce back. We'll talk about that in the preview, but the Raiders, man, I feel like Manly always struggling against the Raiders too. I've been to a few games of Manly Raiders, and Raiders, they're still like a team I think that are underappreciated, underrated team. on their good day, they can beat anyone. So I'm hoping for a good game against the Raiders. But we'll go on to the Super Saturday games. Now, who played that night? It was the Tigers versus the Broncos. The Tigers have definitely slipped after their early form, and they lost 34 points to 10 at Campbelltown. I just feel like the Tigers, they're just missing decent halves. Like ADC is getting pretty old. I don't. Happy Carousel can't do everything from there.
No, that's right.
They've got a decent back line, but I just don't think that they're going to be a top 8 team this year. That they're going to be down the bottom again. And they're the bloody Broncos, eh?
Oh.
I feel like the refs just love the Broncos and they need to give them everything. So
Yes.
the penalty count. This is always a good one for the penalty count for the Broncos games. You're always in favour of the Broncos. That's all right. Yeah, 8-4 penalty count. So there you go. Broncos always get the rub of the green. So the second game on Super Saturday was the Cowboys versus the Panthers, and I was expecting this to be a close game. Nathan Cleary's first game back in like 4 or 5 weeks, and it was pretty close. There's a couple of controversial calls, but some forward passes, and yeah, the Panthers won 26-20 in a pretty crowd in Townsville.
Yes.
It's good to play in Townsville because it's never really bad weather. They've always got it pretty nice.
It's beautiful up there, definitely.
Have you been to the ground in Townsville, the new ground?
No, I was hoping to when I was up there, but no, didn't get to do that.
Nice it's in Townsville, which Townsville isn't the best place to live, but it's a beautiful stadium. It kind of stands out a bit weird because there's like all these old buildings and there's this beautiful brand new stadium.
Right.
But yeah, nice seeing ground. I went there last year when they beat the Tigers like 66 points to whatever. So yeah, I think definitely sick of the Panthers winning. So hopefully someone knocks them off again. I think Manly beat them a couple of weeks ago, remember?
Yes, that was a surprise win for Manly, yes.
And then we got a Sunday's games. So the Dolphins versus the Knights. So the Knights didn't have Kalen Ponga, and I thought Kalen Ponga's out. They've got no chance. But they won 18-14. The Dolphins came back late, so they weren't really in the game at all until the last 10 minutes. They scored 2 late tries, and they fell short with a couple of bad conversions from their Asako, I think his name is. Yeah.
Yes, that's how I'd say. Yes.
And then the last game of the round, it was disappointing because it was Ricky Steele's 500th game coach, and they lost. The Raiders lost 40-0.
Mm-hmm.
I was very shocked with that performance by the Raiders.
Yep, and we might just hold that there.
Yeah. Hold the balls on the line.
I'm hoping so.
There's some technology going.
Yep. Hello, are you there?
Yep, can you hear me?
We can. It's finally great to have you on Rampage League podcast.
No worries. Yeah, thank you.
Well, we might just hold the review there.
Yeah.
Since we've got you on the phone, and this is the first time you've joined us since we've started broadcasting from the Brew Boys Brewery, maybe you'd like to tell our listeners and our live audience here a bit about yourself and pump up your media, what you do for Rugby League.
Yeah, no worries. First of all, hey guys, how you going? Hope everyone there as well. My name is Hulk the Ball. I'm a YouTuber from Port Augusta in South Australia. I live in Adelaide, passionate about rugby league. I tend to actually post content on Instagram as well as YouTube. Unfortunately, for the time being, I'm just taking a little bit of a break this month, but for May that is. But I'm still going to be posting stuff and hopefully little clips here and there. But you can find me on YouTube and Passionate Warriors fan and love all that stuff there. So, and again, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Always welcome to join us on the Rampage League podcast.
Also, just a big thing about Hold the Ball, his Instagram page is awesome. He has like a team of the week. He has so much good content of rugby league. So, like, Hold the Ball, you're a legend. So, we're talking about the Raiders versus the Sharks game. So, the Raiders, I felt so disappointed because we said it before, Ricky Steele's 500th game as coach. They had a couple of players out. It was at home. It was a decent crowd there. It's cold in Canberra.
It is.
And I'm not a big fan of the Sharks. Is anyone a Shark fan here? So, no. I just hate the Sharks, to be fair. And I was hoping the Raiders would beat them. Yeah. Rick Shields fine in the game, and they just didn't show up. That maybe an off game. I felt like the halves were a problem. Weeks in the halves instead of KO weeks instead of having Jamal Fogarty, who's out, obviously. It was a big out. I just felt like, maybe it's an off game. I'm hoping it's just an off game for the Raiders, and they're back this week. Hopefully not as good this week because they're playing Manly, but I don't want them to be that good, but I hope they play better because I'm a Canberra boy at heart, so I'm still soft spot for the Raiders,
Yes, I've got family up in Canberra, so I have been up to see a couple of games with my brother and sister-in-law, and so, I can understand that.
I remember going to the Raiders games as a kid. and it'd be freezing cold, and you'd have 2 pairs of tracky pants on, have like 3 pairs of socks, a jumper, a jacket, a beanie, and if you're lucky enough to have gloves, I never did. Hands are frozen, and everyone's got obviously got cold drinks and stuff, and you're just freezing. You get your chips, and you have 1 or 2 chips. By then they're cold.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's proper cold. It's good for Raiders because they train there, so they're used to the temperature. And then people come from like the Brisbane Broncos or whatever, and they're not used to that temperature.
No, they wouldn't be. No.
It gets cold. It gets really cold. Unless you've been in Canberra for a winter, you don't understand.
That's it.
Because it's cold in Adelaide, it does. But I remember going to school one morning, and it was like 7, 8 in the morning, and it was -7. I'm there.
Far out. Wow.
You weren't allowed to wear like tracky pants or whatever. You had to wear shorts.
Yes.
For a reason. Everyone's just huddled next to the heater. The teacher's trying to teach us. We're like, no, I'm not listening, mate. We need to get to the heater. It's frozen.
Yep.
That's enough about the Ball Raiders. We'll review them. I'll preview them shortly. Hold the ball. What was your thoughts on the Raiders versus the Sharks game?
Yeah, look, it was just a demolition, wasn't it? From the start there. I just thought the absence of quality really was evident, and it just so happens that Nico Hines is also the front runner currently for Darren as well, so he's on top form. And again, just the Raiders were just out of sync, and closing to put that away is just a bad game, and that's what every team does have that. It's unfortunate that there's such a big score margin was scoring on, but kudos for the start.
Yeah, definitely Fogarty's kicking game was a big loss.
It was, yes.
He's usually a fullback when he played for Manly last year, and he didn't have that kicking game. You need obviously, if you have a bad set and you try to own 40, you need a decent kick to clear, find space,
yes,
find the corners kind of thing, and they just didn't have that. So yeah, pulled down to a bad game. This week again they haven't got Jamal Fogarty, so maybe Ricky might have to pull some magic out of his hat, because I don't think KO Weeks should be a halfback. He should be a fullback or in the back somewhere, but not halfback. He's your main playmaker.
Yes.
Something. So we'll go on to, I'm interested because I put this on my notes and I didn't realise Hold the Ball was going to come on. The Warriors up and down form. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Warriors up and down form, Hold the Ball. And I actually predicted them for the premiership early on, and I still think they're a chance, but they've obviously got to fix that form. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, look, our recent run has been quite deflating, as a fan. I understand that to a degree you can sort of say that maybe injuries have played a bit, and obviously with Metcalf sort of, being out and then, Tamati Martin back in, but then you've got like Cable who's out every fortnight and he sort of comes back in. Yeah, look, it's just, I just find like this team is still trying to experiment, or they are experimenting, and they just kind of find what sort of works for them on a week basis. Again, Mata from Newport hasn't really even stepped, hasn't really played for us much this year as well. So, again, if the injuries hold, however, saying that though, say though that it's quite disappointing seeing our defense, just different comparisons to last year. It's quite poor this year, and just the way the boys are sort of coming in together anyway. I just don't think it's quite, what's the word? It's quite, I just think it's plain simple, just not good enough. But yeah, they're factors, but there's just no excuse for it. It's quite deflating. You sort of think the Warriors are a chance to make it big. I made 3 mistakes with this one. Slightly, so
yeah. But do you think it's a bit of a hangover from the finals last year? Maybe they got a bit too cocky, expected it all to happen again this year. Obviously, they've got Roger George-Shek in the centre, so they've probably got Roger's here. He'll do everything. I feel like they've gone away from their plan from last year, and they need to go back to good defence.
Yeah.
Sean Johnson, obviously, I think he hasn't played as good this year. Still early on, which is good for the comp. There's still 21 rounds or whatever it is, 19, 20 rounds left. If they get on a run, they are a dangerous team. It's just they need to. I'd love to have a chat to them to snap out of it. They're such a good team to watch when they're on.
Yes.
What is your thoughts on Roger Tuivasa-Sheck? Do you think he's been a difference in the team? Has he been positive? He's been negative? What's your thoughts?
Arquette has always brought that X factor regardless. And I think he's continuing that now. He probably doesn't help the fact that half the NRL wants to be fullback, half the NRL thinks he's to be center, and then some actually want him to be a wing. I think where he's at is quite good, but in terms of what he brings, I think he's been great. It's just about, what's the word again, just trying to field a consistent team. Somebody Martin 1 week, and then perhaps it might be someone else the other week. Just trying to build some consistency as well. But yeah, I'm enjoying what he's bringing. I just hope it sort of bears fruit.
Yeah, 100%. He's an X factor player, and hopefully the Warriors start to get on a roll. So we'll move on to so last week, I don't know if you listened to the podcast last week, I was talking about the Titans, how they were dangerous, and they've got to win eventually. And I was kind of leaning maybe they'll lose against the Warriors, and I was right. The Titans beat the Warriors.
So
is the Titans? Is this their? If they turn the corner, are they going to? This week, going to get flogged again? What was your thoughts on their performance as a Warriors fan? Would you think they were a better team? Would you unlucky? What's your thoughts on the Titans and their kind of future next 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, look, watching the Tigers play us, I just thought that they were desperate. You know what I mean? They were a team that was desperate. And they just seemed to expose whatever sort of weakness we had. They exposed it, and I just really enjoyed watching them play like a team that needed to win, wants to win, right?
Yeah.
And you're right, especially building up, talking about the fact that there was a team that they're going to beat, and lo and behold, it happened to be us,
Yeah.
and we haven't won an Anzac game in quite some time, and it continues again, brother. So there we go.
Yeah. As you said, that they were just hungry, weren't they? So that when you're hungry and you haven't won a game, you just throw everything at a mate. And that's when you're a dangerous team. When you kind of just go to that no game
Yes.
plan, you need to win. You're desperate. Sometimes that's how you need to play. Like go away from the game plan and just be a more desperate team.
You do, definitely.
Now we'll go on from that. And what we got next? So ladder watch. Okay, this is first hold the ball ladder watch. We'll give it a go. We'll talk about the Warriors a bit more. I think it's a Warrior theme kind of night, isn't it?
It is.
So the Sharks are on top of the ladder.
Yes.
They've been playing pretty good. Okay, I'm not a fan of the Sharks. Okay, keep that quiet because there's a few people Sharks fans around. Hold the ball. What's your thoughts on the Sharks' form this year?
It's good. It's been like one game, like we put to the doggies. But besides that, to be so clinical, they just have answers for everything, and they're in my opinion anyway, turning into be a very good grinding team.
Yeah.
And if you're weak, they're just going to demolish you. Taking point Raiders, so I'm liking what they're doing.
Yeah, I've always thought that the Sharks have always had a good defense, and they've kind of struggled for attack. But this year they've seemed definitely to be a way improved attacking team, as you can see on the weekend at 40-0.
Yes.
I think top four if injuries are going to be a big part of it, but yeah, it's their defense is still really good. Like they've only conceded 100 points so far in their 7 games played, so that's pretty impressive.
It is very impressive, absolutely.
Second on the ladder is the Storm. Oh, I'm sick of the Storm, mate. Come on. Craig Bellamy, he's a genius. He just, every year, you look at their forward pack and there's a bunch of nobodies, really. They've got Nelson in the front.
Yes.
That's not a great forward pack, and they just seem to always be up on the top. What's your thoughts on the Storm's form, Hold the ball?
Again, similar to the Sharks, but what I'm saying that with the Storm, it doesn't matter who they throw in. You just can't count them out. Every year they've proved that. I thought last year they were going to crack. I thought this year they were going to somewhat crack him out. They're still there in the thick of it, as per usual. I'm liking what they're bringing. Pappenhausen as well being, available in a continuous basis, I think helps them out big time. But overall, they're just slick to watch, and as much as I don't like them, I just got to respect their game.
I'm saying you got to respect them. But as you said, you can put anyone in, and they all know their role. It's kind of like the Panthers when they take a few players out. Everyone kind of steps in and knows their role, knows what to do. Well coached teams, and they're always going to be up there. So third on that is the Panthers. Nathan Cleary's back now, so that's a big in for the Panthers. It's actually interesting to see that James Fisher-Harris is signed for the Warriors next year.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Hold the ball having Fisher-Harris playing for the Warriors next year. It's going to be a good forward pack.
Look, it's a huge signing. It's not every day you sort of are able to sign a triple threat premiership winner in role there. Kiwi captain as well. I'm elated about the signing, and I'm looking forward to next year. But I'm such a good player, and I wish him well currently.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock. It just kind of came out of the blue. Like Fisher-Harris signs with the Warriors. It wasn't kind of like a bit of like a rumor happening and it kind of speculation. It was just like boom, he signed. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Put pen to paper, and that was that.
He's such a nice bloke. I've met him a couple of times.
Oh wow.
He's probably the nicest bloke, but on the field, I wouldn't want to run into, mate. Oh, he's huge.
Aha.
So fourth on the ladder is the Manly Sea Eagles.
Yay. Go Eagles.
Yeah, I feel like Manly have been inconsistent, and that draw, I didn't like that draw 2 weeks ago. But to be in the top four when they're not really playing the best football, they're
No.
Luke Brooks kind of combination with Cherry Evans. Turbo's still not injured yet. Is that coming? Maybe. He seems to be always injured. So going to the Broncos at fifth on the ladder. Broncos, they're climbing up the ladder. They're up. So I think they're back in kind of form they had last year. The Dolphins are dropping. What's your thoughts on the Dolphins this year after they started? They're on top of the ladder for a while.
Yeah, look, I've always, well, this year, I think for me, even similar to last year, their depth is literally there. I think they're Achilles heel, really. They've got such a good starting squad, but when you got the likes of Hamilton, Farnworth, Lakeland, those are some key outs, and obviously they're not currently in the field, so yeah, it's going to affect them, and despite the hot start, I do see them dropping further, unfortunately, there, Dolphins fans.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. They'll surprise some teams, but that's the thing, the depth is the big thing. I still think their halves are a bit like week to week. Like sometimes you get a good game out of their halves and then have just a bad game. They've got to settle on their halves.
Yes.
So the Roosters are 7th, and the Doggies are 8th. The Doggies, it's good to see the Doggies in the 8th. They haven't been in the 8th for a while. They've been there a couple of weeks now. They're playing pretty good football. Kickout's been amazing. What's your thoughts on Kickout, Hotball? His form?
He's consistent, isn't he? And obviously, He's had some prior injury seasons before, but when he's on the paddock, he makes such a big difference. He's a good rampaging second rower, and yeah, again, just different ball playing and all that stuff. I just love what he's doing.
100%, 100%. So we go to the bottom half of the nine. So the Cowboys, Raiders, Dragons, and Warriors all dropped down the ladder. The Knights moved up. Parramatta are still down the bottom. The Tigers have gone down again, and the Titans have gone up. And the Souths are back to the bottom. Souths have been terrible, terrible. They're for and against is minus 136. What's your thoughts on the Souths? Hold the ball. On their form of the season.
It's foreign territory, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Just quickly, I remember reading something like a few weeks ago. I think it was like when the Rabbitohs were, before this time, they were like dead last. And apparently the last time they were dead last was like in 2010, round 5 or something like that, right? Prior to that.
Yeah.
So this is a team here that we're just used to seeing them dominate or be there or thereabouts anyway. And seeing them dead last, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of problems going on there. And just between us, like, I don't even know if the coach is going to be there next week and all that.
Yeah, it must be bad for the coach not on if he's like his future's secure kind of thing. Right? And now there's obviously know that Latrell he's suspended. But it's funny at the start of the year, before we had a game, I was all in the news about Latrell is the fittest he's ever been. He looks motivated, he's happy.
Yep.
And his form's been pretty bad. So obviously it's not just him's fault, but like they're saying that everyone's always talk about Latrell how much he's amazing, but he's been disappointing. Damien Cook got dropped. He's been disappointing. Lachlan Ellis broke his leg. He got dropped. Cody Walker's been disappointing. And I feel like they're stars that haven't showed anything really this year.
No, they just haven't lifted. No.
Which is not a bad thing. I'm happy to see South on the bottom. I'm not a South fan, but the South fans, you'd be pulling your hair out. But yeah, there was talk a couple of weeks ago, Mal Meninga might take over the coaching spot.
I did hear whispers about that. Yes.
I don't know why you want to go there. But yeah, it's kind of died down a little bit now. So
it has, yes.
Like Jason Taylor, he's a perfect coach. He could coach first grade teams still. There's a few coaches out there that haven't got gigs. I talked about last week, David Ferner. You got Michael Hagan, like Jeff Tuvey, like just a couple I've just pulled out of me ass.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of coaches around. I feel sorry for the South coach, but I think he's going to lose his job pretty soon if they don't turn around. Yeah, it's not looking.
No, it's not a career where you would buy a house and know you're going to settle down in the States.
Yeah, so I think they've got to be the tip for the first coach sack. What's your thoughts? Hold the ball. Reckon he's going to be the first sack?
Yeah, well, a bit of a tough one.
Yeah, because Des Hasler was in a bit of hot strife there too. Like,
yeah, he was.
I think just won last week, but if he strings a couple of losses again, he'll be back on the hot plate, getting grilled. So yeah, maybe Benji Marshall. Like he isn't like they start off well the Tigers and they've just dropped a lot. I said it last year on this program that I felt like last year Benji was coaching a team when Tim Sheens was like the face of the club and he was just an idiot guy. Benji was because I don't think the team has changed that much from last year. I feel like Benji's stuck with the game plan for last year. They've got a couple of extra players in, but yeah, disappointing.
You were talking about available coaches. Do you think we could see Tim Sheens with another team?
I think Tim Sheens had enough. I think he's cooked. It's been a year since he was a coach before he was with the Tigers.
Right.
I think the game's changed too much for him to be an effective coach.
Okay.
I think if he went to a club, it'd be more like a general manager, maybe recruitment area.
Yep.
I don't see him coaching anymore. Unless you got the Panthers job, then you would be pretty much. You'd want that, wouldn't you? But
you would, definitely.
Or the South team you wouldn't want to coach, really, would it?
No.
All right, we might go for a quick break. Darren, what do you reckon?
I think so, yep.
Do you follow rugby league? Are you a passionate rugby league fan? Want to see a rugby league team in Adelaide? If you answered yes to these questions, then we want to hear from you. Here at the Rampage League podcast, we're looking for the next presenter. Someone who will bring their passion and enthusiasm to the Rampage League podcast. Someone who wants a rugby league team back in Adelaide. For more info, send an email to producer Darren at admin@ozsportsonline.com.
Have you thought about promoting your business, event or product on radio? Getting your product, service on radio is easier than you think. Consider sponsoring Adelaide's only dedicated rugby league podcast on Ozsports Radio. In return for your sponsorship, we offer fully voiced and produced sponsorship announcements played during the live recording and broadcast, as well as online promotion if that tickles your fancy as well. For more information, send an email to our marketing team at ozsportsonline.com.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Rampage League podcast. Still there, hold the ball? You still on the line?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about random rugby league. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this kind of. So in Port Augusta, do you see many fans of rugby league wearing any like jerseys or merchandise in Port Augusta? Or is it just like nothing?
You know what? No, I've actually seen the odd like Cowboys, Broncos, Eels.
Oh, yeah?
It's not a lot, but you actually do see a sprinkle of it.
That's always good to see.
It is very good to see.
Since Anzac Day, so what's been like a week almost, it's not like a week, it's been like 5 days since Anzac. I've wore a rugby league jersey every day, all right, every day. And it gets pretty cold after 5 o'clock. I'm walking around in the t-shirt. So yesterday I was walking around, I got the Manly Anzac jersey and I was walking around
Wow.
in Rundle Mall, like I'm showing it off, you know. And I seen two guys wearing Warriors jerseys and actually one said, go Manly. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then I seen a South guy and he looked really upset. I wonder why. And we've got someone in the crowd wearing a Raiders jersey as well. So it's good to see the Raiders supported in Adelaide. So
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a good jersey, yeah.
it's a trainer jersey. Yeah, so it's good to see people wearing their jerseys. You need to wear your jersey more, Darren.
I know. I'll have to dig out my Manly one signed by Brett Stewart. So
Don't say Brett Stewart. He's my favourite all-time player.
I know.
I'm coming to your house and I'm taking it.
Aha.
What a legend. The old snake. Yeah, I love that guy. So, yeah, more random rugby league. So, we'll talk about these stickers that I've got, all right? The 1,000 stickers. So, hold the ball. Yours are in the mail. I sent you about 20 of them, so you can stick them all over Port Augusta.
No worries.
I've given people out. So, people messaged me today on Facebook saying they received their stickers. So, if you want a sticker, just all you got to do is give our Facebook page a like, Rampage League Podcast. Send us a DM if you have an address, and I'll send you out 5 or 10 stickers, and you can stick them all over your fridge or all over your next door neighbour's mailbox. I don't care what you do. I've got 500 left, so I've got a fair few. And I actually bought more, Darren.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I bought some big ones. So like 30 centimetre by 30 centimetre.
Oh, wow.
I sent one to hold the ball. I've put it on the back of my car, right? And I was driving here from home. And I'm driving, and this bloke next to me, he's like, yeah. I'm like, what's he talking about? He's talking about the Rampage League Podcast sticker on the back.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
I was like, what's this guy doing? Like, he's on some sort of drugs, but he's like, yeah, mate, go the Rams. I'm like, what? Oh, that's right. Yeah, the sticker on the back.
Yes,
So
yep.
I've got 7 big stickers. I'll bring one to you, Darren.
Thank you.
And if you want a big sticker and chuck it in your car, let me know and I'll send it to you for free. It's for free. I'm taking the cost of the post. So if you want a free sticker, just like our page and send us a DM and I'll send you 30 or 40 if you want. I don't care.
Absolutely. And then they've got to send us a photo with tag Rampage League Podcast so we can see where you put the stickers.
So you got one on the laptop there. There's one behind the bar at Brew Boys Brewery.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you got on your iPad. You got them everywhere. I must have gave you a fair few, didn't I?
Rugby league? Do you follow rugby league? Are you a passionate rugby league fan? Want to see a rugby league team in Adelaide? If you answered yes to these questions, then we want to hear from you. Here at the Rampage League Podcast, we're looking for the next presenter. Someone who will bring their passion and enthusiasm to the Rampage League Podcast. Someone who wants a rugby league team back in Adelaide. For more info, send an email to producer Darren at admin@aussportsonline.com.
Yes, we are definitely looking for another Adelaide-based host. And
Yes, we do need one because I'll be gone as of next week for 3 weeks, maybe 4 or 5. I should be back. I might still be able to phone in, but it's just going to be Darren here by himself. So we need some hosts there.
yes, we do. Yes. Now we're talking about the stickers. Yep, we've got.
Yeah. There's so many stickers. I bought too many and then I bought the big ones now. So if you want the big one, let me know. And the little ones, they're pretty good. They're good quality, I think. Good quality stickers. So what I got.
Oh, yes.
And definitely show us on the back of your Parado or on the back of your Gemini, whatever you got. And we'll chuck it on our social media.
Definitely. Absolutely.
So we'll move on with the preview for round 9. And I'll get your tips, Darren, and I'll the ball as well.
Okay.
So we'll go through the teams a little bit. So Thursday night, it's the Panthers versus the Souths, okay, in Sydney at Accor Stadium. The Panthers should win this. They should. But as we said with the Titans, Souths are going to be desperate. Desperate teams are dangerous.
They are.
There's no real big ins or outs for either team. So same as kind of last week. The last time they played was close game, 20 points to 18, and the Rabbits won. The game before that was 16-10, so it's another close game. I'm going to tip the Panthers, and I'm tipping by 13 plus. What's your thoughts? Hold the ball and your tip.
Yeah, look, just quickly, I don't see this being a close game. If we were making Cleary second week back, I'm sure he'll be ready to get better. As for the Rabbits, they're looking down and all that stuff there, and I see this honestly being 13 plus. I think it'll be quite high scoring for the Panthers.
So what's your thoughts, Darren, on this game?
I'm thinking Panthers.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, as you said, hold the ball. Nathan Cleary's back. His first week, he wasn't great. I think he's not going to have 2 really bad games. He's going to be on fire, I think. And South, I think if they lose, I think their coach, he won't want to turn up on Monday.
No.
So we've got the Friday game, the early game. It's at the lovely 4 Points Park in Sydney. It's the Manly Seals versus the Raiders. On paper, you think Manly. It's going to be a sold-out game at 4 Points Park. There's no real big ins really for either team. Elliot Whitehead comes back, but they're still missing that Jamal Fogarty. And for Manly, the big out is Ola Kawachu's out, and Cherry Evans maybe because he's fighting the charge, but
Yes.
yeah, I don't think he's gonna beat that. So he'll probably be out, and then bring in Jacob Arthur coming to the half. That could make it more of a tight game. I'm going to tip Manly still because I'm tipping with my heart. I'm going to go by 13 plus. Hold the ball. What's your thoughts and tip?
Yeah, look, I'm still going to back the Eagles here. With the rule out, DCE in particular, I just think that you guys, yeah, we sort of touched on it before, but you guys haven't probably played your best footy, and I just feel like you guys are in a stage where, regardless of who's in or out, I think you guys get the job done, especially against the Raiders there. But yeah, I reckon you guys will win it 6-12.
6-12, interesting. Darren, what's your thoughts on this game?
I'm kind of torn between this one. I think Manly, but I think it's going to be a close game. So I'll stick with Manly.
Manly?
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's a smart decision. I just think the Raiders without Jamal Fogarty have little chance. So the late game, of course, is in Brisbane because they always have Friday games, the Broncos, and they're playing the Roosters. This game, I think, might be tighter than people are thinking. The Roosters came off a good win. They're confident, and the Broncos have been in good form. The ins and outs. So Daniel Tupu's back. Victor Radley's on the extended bench. Michael Jennings has been cut because he's 90 years old. Selwyn Cobbo's back. Ezra Mann's back. So the Broncos are a strong team on paper, but some of the salary cap cheats, the Roosters, the cheats. Salary cap cheats, yes. So can I see an upset? I can see the Roosters winning by, I'm going to say by 1. I'm going to say Sam Walker field goal in the 79th minute. Hold the ball. What's your thoughts on this game and tip?
Yeah, this is basically the Las Vegas rematch, isn't it? I think I'm still going to stick the Broncos here. Payne Haas, Adam Reynolds, Hope Cobbo is back as well, right? Despite the fact that I know the Roosters are, they're a deadly team when they get things going. They can definitely cause an upset or two, but I just think the Broncos have been primed and ready for this one here. So Broncos for me, it's 12.
12. Darren, what's your thoughts on this?
I'm going to go with holding the ball and go Broncos.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's one of those things I can tip the coin and flip the coin and it could be either one. So Saturday we're off to a core stadium again, and it's the Bulldogs versus the Tigers. The Bulldogs, I just feel like kick out. He's the X factor for them, and if he plays well, it could be a massive game. And I just feel like the Tigers I think they're lacking halves. That's the thing they're lacking. I think the Bulldogs will win. I think they'll win 13 plus. What's your thoughts, Hold the Ball?
Yeah, last year this would have probably been the bottom 4, right? Clash.
Battle for the spoon, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. But both these teams, compliments to them, have been playing really well. In saying that, I'm just going to go with the Doggies. Yeah, I think they'll be not necessarily too strong, but I think they'll just be clinical and they'll win the well.
Yeah. Well coached too, I think, the Doggies too. What's your thoughts, Darren?
Yes, I'm going to take the advice and go the Doggies, yeah. Yep.
So Super Saturday second game, it's going to be a thriller, this one. It's the Storm versus the Titans. Look at the odds for them on Sportsbet. Titans are paying $5.10. Do you see them beating them? I don't see them beating the Storm. I think it's going to be, it's going to be a big loss, I think. I'm looking at the teams. Yeah. So Xavier Coates is out for the Broncos. After the Broncos. Wow. He doesn't play for them anymore. He plays for the Storm. So he's out, but yeah, I think the Storm will win quite easily. I think Paps will score 3 tries, and I'm going to go 13 plus. What's your thoughts, Hold the Ball?
You guys are going to think I'm crazy.
Here we go.
Yeah, so I'll back you at the time there. I really think they're going to ride that momentum. It's going to be a first game back home, obviously, after the win over New Zealand. But I think they're going to be primarily ready here. They've got Phillips Army back as well. I do think they're a team not only desperate and obviously winning games last week, but feel like they can definitely put a few wins together. And I'm sure Hazel will have them up and ready for this game here. It's a big game too. Last time I'm going all in, boys. I'm going to go Titans here 6-12.
Okay, so make sure you save that, and we'll play that next week when they lose by 50.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hope the Titans win. That'd be good because that'd be good to see the Storm losing game. So the last game is a Queensland derby, and that's the Cowboys. Oh, did I get a tip, Darren? Did you?
No, I didn't. Do I need to say Storm?
Yeah. So Hold the Balls is going for the Titans. Okay, so the last game of Super Saturday is the Queensland derby. It's the Cowboys versus the Dolphins in Townsville. I don't really see that. I think it's after the Cowboys losing last week, I think they'll bounce back. Kafusi's back. Jared Wallace is back. Who's in the halves? They've got Cody Nickering in the halves. So I still think, I think it's going to be a closer game, but I think 6-12 and the Cowboys. What's your thoughts? Hold the Ball.
Yeah, look, the Cowboys are due for a win, right? They've had a string of losses there, and again, I just think they'll be too strong at home. Decent performance last week against the Panthers too. And with the Dolphins, I just don't think they just don't. Yeah, these outs too that are still not in there. So Cowboys for me. I reckon 13 plus.
Plus, yeah, because they've got a good attacking kind of team, the Cowboys. James Maloney's taken over as the attacking coach, and last year they were a good attacking team, but I think they're a better attacking team this year, even though last week they lost. But what's your thoughts, Darren, on this game?
I think Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Sunday we have the early game in a lovely place called Newcastle. The Newcastle Knights, aka the Adelaide Rams, because they look like the Adelaide Rams.
They do. Definitely.
They're playing the Warriors. So I don't even need to hold the ball who's going to win this game, but I'll go through it anyway. So Kurt Cable's back. That's good. Hetherington's back for his little suspension. Jack Cogger's back, but there's no Callum Pogger, and that's the big out for me for the Knights. I think if they're really any chance of top 8, they need Callum Pogger there most times, more than not.
Yes.
And I think after the Warriors lost against the Titans last week, I think they're not going to play that again. I think it might be a wake-up call, hopefully. And I think the Warriors will win. I think they're going to flog them. I think because they're well coached, the Warriors, and I think Sean Johnson will be man of the match, and he'll score 20 points himself. So I'm tipping the Warriors. Hold the ball. You tipping the Knights? You tip the Titans? You're going to tip the Knights too? Do I have to take you for a drug test?
Look, for this game here, I'll be tipping the Warriors despite being nervous. I'll tell you what, after that time we lost there, I'm just not really confident with this game despite me backing the boys. But I'm saying that hopefully after the loss there, we could get back onto it. So, look, tipping the Warriors there, I reckon both games 6-12, but hopefully we do bring out.
Hopefully for you. Hopefully, up to us. All right, Darren, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, probably should go for the Warriors. I think I'd be silly to go for the Knights, especially being over the ditch. And no, I'll still go the Warriors. Yeah, I think they just look stronger. And
so the last game is in Cronulla. It's the Sharks versus the Dragons. So this game is like a derby. Okay, I always find this the most boring game to watch, because I don't like either teams. I just find them both boring. But this year, I think the Sharks obviously changed, and they're a more attacking team. And I think they'll win this game pretty easily. The Dragons, they've been inconsistent. They've won a few games, like they're here and there.
Yeah.
But the Sharks' form is just this next level at the moment. They're going to lose eventually, like everyone. But I think the Dragons just don't have enough attacking power. Ben Hunt, it's all on him, really, isn't it?
Yes.
And Zach Lomax, obviously, he's been in good form too. So I'm going to go Sharks by a bagillion points. I'm going to kill them. Okay, it's going to be a close game now. I've said that. Hold the ball. What's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, well, get ready for this take as well. I'm going to go Dragons here. You touched on Lomax, you touched on Hunt there, Francis Mollard and the like.
Yeah.
I think the Sharks are surely due for a loss, right?
Yeah.
They surely are. And I reckon if there's anything they're going to fit them, why not in this derby here? So I'm going to back the Dragons to win a special call.
Dragons, there you go. Okay, so we're going to send over a drug test home kit for you, because you've tipped the Titans against the Storm, and they've tipped the first place team against the Dragons. What water do they have in Port Augusta? You been drinking the water? Like, what's happened?
Well, it's not great water here, mate.
No, Darren, what's your thoughts on this game?
I think going on how well the Sharks are doing at the moment, and they've been at the top of the ladder, I think I'd have to go Sharks.
I might put a sneaky bet on the Dragons just for the ball. I might cover. Yeah. He's a smart guy off the ball, so I think he's got credit, but he definitely stop drinking that water. And the buy is the Parramatta Eels, which they definitely need, because they just need Mitchell Moses back, I think, and they're missing him.
Yes.
That's the preview.
When kids play rugby league, they're part of something bigger than a team.
Whoa! Cool!
They're part of a community that's safe, fair,
And fun! Play something unreal!
PlayRugbyLeague.com.
The NRL season is tough on every player, but the off-season, well, it's toughest on us. The fans, the armchair critics, the loyal supporters. 13,276,980. That's how many ticks of the clock the off-season is. It feels like forever. But the start is finally here. A start the whole world will see. Not just the start of something great. It's the start of something unpredictable. Unrelenting. Unmissable. The start of something unreal.
This is the greatest sport ever invented.
NRL 2024. Let's go.
we'll give a bit of a shout out just to all the fans of rugby league in South Australia. So ourselves included, we're shouting out to ourselves to hold the ball. Thank you very much for coming on again. I always love having you on the show, and you definitely get sent stickers down. So I'm coming to Port Augusta shortly, so I'll have to hit you up and have a beer with you, mate.
Sure.
Beautiful. All right, Darren, I want to talk about this host. We're going to talk about getting a host here.
Yes.
Do you follow rugby league? Are you a passionate rugby league fan? Want to see a rugby league team in Adelaide? If you answered yes to these questions, then we want to hear from you. Here at the Rampage League podcast, we're looking for the next presenter. Someone who will bring their passion and enthusiasm to the Rampage League podcast. Someone who wants a rugby league team back in Adelaide. For more info, send an email to producer Darren at admin@ozsportsonline.com.
Hold the Ball can't get here because imagine how much it costs him in petrol coming from Port Augusta every Tuesday. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Maybe you could live at Brew Boys on the, stay in the, we've got a cellar here or something. Somewhere we're going to Hold the Ball.
That's it.
It's so far away from us. But yeah, we need a new host. We definitely need a new host. We've had some nibbles, yeah?
We have. It just seems we've got plenty of interest, but they're all regional or interstate.
Yeah, all busy on a Tuesday night. Eh?
That's it. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So we need also talk about, we need a sponsor too, don't we?
Have you thought about promoting your business, event or product on radio? Getting your product, service on radio is easier than you think. Consider sponsoring Adelaide's only dedicated rugby league podcast on Ausports Radio. In return for your sponsorship, we offer fully voiced and produced sponsorship announcements played during the live recording and broadcast, as well as online promotion if that tickles your fancy as well. For more information, send an email to our marketing team at ozsportsonline.com.
We do, yes. We've got a brand new home that allows us to broadcast live in front of the audience every week. So we really thank the Brew Boys Brewery. But there's a lot more that we'd like to do, but what we'd like to do costs money. So we would love a sponsor, financial sponsor, to come on board and help us to offset some of our costs. And
because obviously I made the shirts last year. That cost me money, but it didn't. I was out of my own pocket. The stickers out of my own pocket, and I got drink bottles out of my pocket. So all the Rampage League merch is just out of my own pocket. Unfortunately, I'm not a millionaire. Suck.
No.
Either is Hold the Ball. I bet he wishes he was. But he's not either. Darren, you must be pretty close to a millionaire.
I wish I could say I was, but no.
Short, yeah. So we'll just do this rugby league stuff just out of the passion of getting a team in South Australia and just the love of rugby league. So that's about it for tonight, I think, Darren.
It is. Just a couple of other things. I was having a conversation with some of the people here at Brew Boys before we came on air, and one comment that one of the crowd made was, it would be good to hear from the NRL. Do they want a team in South Australia? Because we're all for it as fans, but are we pushing our own uphill when maybe the NRL don't think about or are not even thinking about a team in SA?
So I've heard a few rumours about this. I don't know if you've heard before. So the NRL want 20 teams by 2032. Okay. One reason they're having the Origin games in SA every 2 or 3 years is because they're looking to get a team here by 2032. We might not be the 18th team, we might be the 20th team. I feel like Perth's a shoe-in and there's 19, 20. If we get a game in South Australia, like a NRL game or Origin, we need to show out in numbers, show that we're keen for a team. Because if that will show the NRL that we're serious. Obviously, this podcast doesn't really do much, but if we get people to listen and talk about rugby league, because everyone talks about AFL here, just get a few people talking rugby league. Even like people who don't know rugby league go, oh, what's this rugby league? Get on YouTube, see some big hits, all of a sudden a fan. You never know. And like, I feel like there is rumours about South Australian rugby league teams. I hear it randomly. So I think there is interest by NRL that they're probably keeping their cards close to their chest before he's not going to announce a team in Adelaide when we haven't got any funding or anything. So I feel like, yes, there is interest and we probably will get a team, but not for the next 3 or 4 years, no way. What's your thoughts, Hold the Ball? Do you think we're a chance?
I don't see why not. I mean, even last year, the Origin, right, it was around, 46, 48,000 that they rocked up. Yeah, like, talk about numbers, right? Talk about momentum. I reckon, look, why wouldn't we be? I mean, well, South Australia is literally central to Australia. You obviously got all the time zones and all that stuff there. And I just think for me, like, to make it national, surely you've got to have South Australia in there, right?
100%. We always talk about this, Darren. It's got to be National Rugby League. It's just an East Coast comp at the moment. And it's annoying. There's so many teams in Sydney. They don't need many teams. Just give us a team in Perth, Adelaide, Another team in New Zealand. I'm happy. That's all I need to do. I'm happy.
Yep.
They talk about PNG and bloody putting it out here. Another team in Queensland. Like, no, New Zealand need a team because New Zealand's are crazy about rugby league at the moment. All right. When it strike by the iron slot, okay, New Zealand going well, get another team, there's a rivalry straight away. Like South versus North line, like get it on, you know. If the Warriors just say this year start to fade and then they're back down the bottom for the next couple of years, they've missed their chance, haven't they?
They have, yes.
I know, hold the ball, you wanted second team in New Zealand, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. I back that 100%.
100%. I would love to see a second team.
I would love to see a team in New Zealand more than I'd love to see a team in Papua New Guinea. I think there's so many cons to having a team in Papua New Guinea. I think there's more pros, and we've already had it proven that New Zealand can have a team and make a team works. So if we're going to have another international team, I think it should come from New Zealand, and then Adelaide, Perth, or Perth and Adelaide.
Yeah. So hopefully the plan was by 2032, have the 20 teams. And it's definitely achievable. I see so much talent in reserve grade. You could make another teams out of the talent in reserve grade. If you spread get some players from other teams to kind of spread it around a bit. There's plenty of upcoming players. I feel like rugby league in Polynesia is bigger than it has been in New Zealand as well. There's plenty of players coming from union like kind of backgrounds. I feel like there's plenty of talent there that just need teams, you know. Like, and if New Zealand had a second team, I feel like that'd be a top 4 team basically straight away. Like if they've got the funding, we'll see in the stadium. But yeah, rugby league, they don't need to go to Papua New Guinea. They're big fans there, but they haven't got the infrastructure there. I've been to PNG, and the grounds are terrible. Security is terrible. They need to work on their own self as a country before they think about getting the rugby league team. They've got so many problems politically. They don't need a rugby league team there. Like if you took any teams from Australia, New Zealand to Papua New Guinea, the security they'd have to have every round would be crazy because they're crazy about rugby league. They'll try and kidnap bloody Mitchell Moses or something, put him in the back of a car. Like they need to sort out their country and get maybe in the future, maybe 10, 20 years maybe, but not right now.
No.
That's it. Yeah.
Just a couple little snippets from NRL SA. NRL SA are now taking coach nominations for the RISE development program. And you may ask, what is RISE? Well, head to https://www.playrugbyleague.com/framework/RISE to check it out. Coaches will have the chance to participate in a national coach player pathway, all while learning new and exciting up-to-date coaching technique. The RISE program will run over 5 sessions starting in June. Please send applications or queries to Kelso McEwen, so that his email is kmcewan@nrl.com.au.
We'll chuck that on our Facebook, yeah?
We will, absolutely.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Hold the Ball, for joining us this week.
No, thank you for having me. It was great yarn, and looking forward to it again, boys. Thank you again, guys.
Definitely. You had enough, Darren? You want to go home?
I should, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks, Hold the Ball again. Thanks, Darren. And bring back the Rams, yeah?
Go the Rams. Go the Rams.
Adelaide to bring it out from their own line. And met by some very willing Auckland defence. And pushed back a couple of metres. Correspondent just goes from dubbing half to pick up Darren Doherty. 25 metres out from his own line.
As now the Adelaide Rams make their way out onto Marathon Stadium for the first time.